Hello, good evening. We are here on a Wednesday evening for a midweek challenge. We're going to play some Nic Fit. I have streamed this deck before, so you can find actually the stream where I built the list, I think. I think there were two Nic Fit streams, actually. I think there was a stream where I built the list, and there was a stream where I had added the Esper Origins. We played a league. Since then, I have had a nice top 8 over the weekend with Nic Fit in an online European Legacy Masters qualifier tournament run by Ika Baronen, which was good fun. And finished top 4, finished in 3rd place. It turned out the invite actually passed down, so that was really nice. This list has officially gotten me to the European Legacy Masters Invitational in July, so that's awesome. Since then, I have made one change. I have added 3 Once Upon a Time, cutting the second Deathclaw, a Bayou, and something else. Oh yes, the Balustrade Worm that I had in. That was the awkward slot that I couldn't really find to fill. I obviously considered Once Upon a Time when I was building the deck. You know, this is one of the first cards that your head goes to when you're doing a creature-based green deck in Legacy. But at the time, I wanted to prioritize Rumble and Esper Origins because they have more synergy with the list. Both of these specify permanent rather than just creature, which means that you can get deed with them, which can be quite important. And they both put stuff in the graveyard to flashback therapy. So I wanted to prioritize those, and I wasn't sure that the list could tolerate 10 or so 2-mana card selection spells. Having played more with the list, I now believe the list can tolerate that. In fact, it probably wants that. Just because in the mid-game when you've got 5 to 6 mana, Rumble is one of the best cards that you can draw in that situation. And Once Upon a Time will be like, a reasonably distant second, I think. Bearing in mind it can't find deed or a land, but of course it has that smoothing advantage in the opening hand. So we will see how Once Upon a Time performs today. I do think that unlike most sort of Zenith decks, it will be weaker than Rumble here, just as I think that Zenith is actually weaker than Rumble here. I conceive of this deck as like essentially a Rumble deck. What with it finding deed, which is a key part of your game plan, and it dumping things in your graveyard to flashback or to play with Ice Till, or to excavate with Quarry. So we shall see. I don't think Wat will be as powerful here as it is in Cradle, for example, right, where it finds like all of your key cards pretty much. I think it will just be fine. It will help find Ice Till, which I think is very good. Ice Till has been absolutely superb in this shell. I think the majority of games that you win with Ice Till. At some point. Not necessarily looping Ghost Quarter, although that's a common endgame, but also looping Peatland for like infinite cards, pretty much. Looping Quarry is a lot of inevitability, but even if it just stays in play for a turn or two, the ramp and by extension card advantage you get from playing the lands out of the graveyard and not needing to play them out of your hand is huge, because once you're at 6 to 7 mana, then your deck is firing on all cylinders, whereas it won't be when you're at 4 and you play the Ice Till. So Ice Till is just a huge piece of this puzzle, I think. But I haven't been playing very much Magic recently. which has been nice. It's been nice to sort of coast a bit, waiting for the new set to come out, where there are some interesting cards to investigate. And to just watch the meta unfold. Hello, Drix. So it'll be fun to play some competitive Magic this evening with a list that I like quite a lot. This is a lot of fun. Oops, Miss Trigger asks, has Culling Ritual been considered? No, I have not considered Culling Ritual. 4 mana sounds like a lot. I'm quite happy playing Deed. Because you can play it out on 3 and then have it be in play. And it's a permanent that you can find. I think that people... I don't know. I guess Deed is a classic card. A lot of like legacy old heads. Any card fits in Nic Fit. Well, I mean, if a deck is... It's a bit like how any card fits in Energy. Like, you can actually play loads of bad cards in Energy and win lots of games because the core cards are so powerful. The Veteran Explorer interaction is so potentially powerful in Legacy that you can put any bad cards in a Nic Fit deck and win. But just like with Energy, you'll win more if you have good cards alongside your core cards than if you have bad cards. Even if the shell can support them. But I want to go back to Deed because I think maybe, I guess, newer players or people who haven't seen this card in action might not understand how powerful Pernicious Deed is. Like, in comparison to any given sweeper, Pernicious Deed is just so oppressive. And I think a lot of that is because you can activate it during your opponent's end step. It's a bit like the old Miracles interaction where, like, obviously a board wipe is good, but a 1 mana board wipe that you play at instant speed on your opponent's turn is insane. And that's why Terminus was so good. Because you would Terminus and then you would untap and play a Jace or whatever. This is the same thing. You play the Deed and what is your opponent going to do? Unless they can remove it, in which case maybe you just crack it in response because you played it with mana up. They can't play anything on their turn. Yeah, because they're going to play into the Deed, and then you can just wait, and you can wait as long as you want, and then you can just crack it during their end step, wipe the board, untap, play something big. And anything like Toxic Deluge, Wrath of the Skies, Culling Ritual, like any sweeper you name, yeah, it's probably a better rate than Deed or whatever, but it's not Deed because it can't do the things that Deed does. And Deed is just so powerful for that reason, if you can build around it. I have played quite a lot against the Stifle deck, the blue-white Felia deck, and it's definitely tricky. Stifle is very good against this deck. I think I have about a 50% win rate. I would say, yeah, about 50% win rate across 4 matches against blue-white Felia. It's tricky, it's intricate, you have to play carefully. And yeah, it's definitely not what I want to see, the blue-white Felia deck, because it has basics, has Stifle, it has instant speed, creatures, has card advantage, has swords, has a lot of stuff that's really well positioned against the Nic Fit deck. So yeah, hoping to dodge blue-white Felia today. Asking about Flare of Cultivation. Yeah, so Flare of Cultivation is a card that some well-known Nic Fit players like Quaker have been playing. It's a Modern Horizons 3 card, so, you know, it must be busted. You can cast it for free by sacrificing Veteran Explorer, and it searches for basics and puts them into play in your hand. This card is very powerful with Veteran Explorer. It ramps you very quickly. It is, I think, the floor on this card is really low. Like, if you draw it without Veteran Explorer, it's like worse than Rampant Growth almost in Legacy. Like, it's just really, really bad. So I've played with this card. I do not like it. I I think if they printed something or someone found something that you could use this effectively with that wasn't Veteran Explorer to add that redundancy, I would be more interested in returning to Flare of Cultivation. But for now, while we can only play 4 Explorers and search for them, I'm not really interested in Flare. And you can see that in the way this deck like tops out. If you're on a Flare list, you actually can play more expensive cards. Like you can play more of the type of stuff that Quaker is playing, like that 6-mana Saga from Avatar, the black one that wipes the board. You can play the Emrakul that Quaker likes to play, because you're more often having like 7-8 lands in play. This deck doesn't, it gets to like 6-7 lands usually, unless you're really going really nuts with an Explorer. So it's like more mid-rangey, and then Flare. That's because I don't want to run Flare, because I don't like Flare. Like that all interacts. Inigo is asking, hi Inigo, what am I targeting? Primarily Energy and Forge or Tron. Energy is quite bad at battling through multiple deeds and multiple Bowmasters. So the Energy matchup is strong. And then on the other side of the coin, anything that's not playing a single basic is extremely vulnerable to getting Ghost Quartered over and over again and having their lands blown up by Assassin's Trophy. So against Tron type stuff, you can just play Ponza, and that tends to work pretty well. Trophy's great against the Tron type stuff because you can target their lands with it, but you can also target their Planeswalkers, because you can just target anything with it. And there's no downside against the deck with 0 basics. So that's what I'm targeting. Inigo. And it's totally fine. This list is totally fine against like blue tempo type stuff, because they only run 2 basics. So, after the first Explorer, your trophies and Ghost Quarters have no downside. Stuff with more than 2 basics is, I think, an uphill battle for this deck. So we don't really want to be playing against D&T. We don't really want to be playing against Blue-White Failure. Opposition Agent. Opposition Agent's just not really a legacy power level card, unfortunately. It's a very fun card. It's just not very good. If you're playing an Opposition Agent on turn 1, with Dark Ritual or with like Chrome Mox Tomb, then you can make an argument for it. If you're not doing that, it's way too slow. Let me see if there's something weird going on with the bitrate. It looks like we're okay, actually, Della L, on my end. It looks fine to me. How do you keep up with Legacy early turns? Well, we have a sideboard. We have Traps and Oof in the sideboard. We have Force of Vigor, which is quite good against a lot of that fast combo. The Therapy does a lot of the heavy lifting there, Inigo. If I'm against Show and Tell, I can just Therapy naming Show and Tell on turn 1, and that's going to buy me quite a lot of time. So yeah, those aren't necessarily the kind of decks I want to play against, but I think you can hold your own with Therapy. Basically, you have to be good at naming stuff with Therapy for those kind of decks that are going to put you under a lot of pressure early. Sometimes you have hands that go like turn 2 Rumble, turn 3 Ice Till. That can be quite a nice curve. Like turn 3 Ice Till into GQ can be quite strong quite early. Trophy can buy you some time against the strong decks. I'm surprised you swapped from Energy to this. I don't like having a target on my back, and especially locally in paper, which is kind of why I started trying to build this, is because locally there's a lot of colorless decks. People are running like Virtue's Ruin and Massacre and all kinds of stuff to try and beat the Energy deck and to beat me. So I was just like, I'm just not bringing Energy to a tournament where people are on Virtue's Ruin. No thanks. Witherbloom Charm is cool. I need to think about how to incorporate Witherbloom Charm. Traditionally, stuff that costs mana and sacrifices Explorer has been pretty weak. If you think of cards like... Or what's the... I always forget this card's name. The one that has Dina on the art. Mana value 2, ID, green, black, type, sorcery, oracle, sacrifice. Deadly Brew. So this looks really good for Nic Fit. It was terrible. So stuff that costs mana to sacrifice usually pretty bad with Veteran Explorer. But one thing you can do with this, which is nice, is you can sacrifice it at the best time, which is in your opponent's end step, because it's an instant. You can sacrifice stuff in response to removal, like if they try and Bowmaster your Bowmaster. Well, I guess you have to do it when the Bowmaster on stack. But if they try and Swords your Bowmaster, you can sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. It does a few different things, which might make it better than like expensive sack outlets has traditionally been in Nic Fit. So we'll see. You also stopped playing Guide of Souls because of Massacre. Yeah. Energy is obviously the stronger deck in a vacuum. Energy is incredibly strong in a vacuum. But the meta, I think, is quite hostile to it at the moment. It's still doing well because it's so strong, but this deck is definitely like a meta call. I would not just bring this deck to an unknown metagame. I'm like trying to target specific things. You love Nic Fit, you're happy I'm giving it a go. Cool, I love Nic Fit too. I used to play Ishkanar and Grimflayer in Nic Fit a long time ago. I don't know if I can keep this hand. Origins is not great in the opener. This needs to find a... Really, it needs to find a green-black source. And then we're relying on Therapy and 2 Bowmasters to get us into the mid-game. I think I am going to keep this. If I find my second land off once, I should be able to always find a third one off Rumble. I think I would not fault anyone for mulliganing this, but I think the upside on just having Therapy in the opener is quite high, because it's your main form of interaction, so... And 2 Bowmasters is pretty good in the blind, so I'm gonna keep this almost as a way to sort of stress test Once Upon a Time. But it's not the ideal hand. Flooded Strand. That probably means blue-white Felia. So there's a Tameo. Okay. Turn 1 Tameo is quite good against this deck. That's not the ideal draw. We're not going to play around days here because we want to play the Therapy. We didn't find a way to play the Therapy, which is quite bad. But we did find a forest, so we'll play that and we'll pass. I wonder what my odds are exactly there. I have 19 lands in the deck. I think only 12 of them are black sources, 11 or 12. So it's 11 out of like 52. It's not terrible. Zenith is quite good here. Second Island. Second Island. That's odd. I would still guess blue-white Felia, but I'm surprised you wouldn't play white source there. Or fetch for 1. Yeah, I do think we want to think about Plow. My instinct is to lead on Rumble anyway. to find the third land. Because if we have a third land, then we can Zenith for Explorer and sack it with Quarry. Yeah, so we're going to need to grab the land here and bin the deed. That's okay. And then we can just say go. I mean, this is not the scariest follow-up to a Tameo. It's not great that they have a Tameo, but that turn 2 is very weak from them, so... Yes. Now a Ponder. Ponder into third land, crack clue for Tameo. Seems likely. Yeah, so it is blue-white. One of the nice things here is they've already got 3 basics out of the deck, and that is usually the number they play. So assuming it is actually this blue-white Felia deck, which I think is quite good at the moment, this Explorer is going to be much better than usual in this game if we do get an Explorer. Alternatively, we could just play Grist. Playing Grist without first checking for Force seems a little reckless to me. So if, for example, I Therapy, then I can Zenith, Flashback Therapy, and play Grist if I want to. I think that's the most likely line here. Possibly I should have got Bayou there, but that's fine. I'm going to start with Therapy on Force of Will, I think. Okay, so we hit a Force. Now they have a Vista in hand, which makes me think that they're actually a taller deck with more basics, possibly even back to basics. So I may not even want to Zenith. Problem is, I think I need the mana. So if I give you the mana, you can only swords this turn, which is probably fine. Because I'm thinking they probably have more basics if they're on a Vista mana base. Probably like Jeskai Wizards rather than Blue-White Felia. I haven't played this matchup. I imagine it's terrible. Just because they have a gajillion basics and ways to use the mana. So I'm not sure what to do here. Giving them basics at the wrong time can very easily lose you the game. Next turn, I would have 5 mana. No, I'm just gonna Origins instead. I'm gonna try not to give them basics right now if I can avoid it. Okay, so this into graveyard and this on top. I will have 4 mana next turn. If I have 5 mana, I can Grist and Orc. The most dangerous thing you can do next turn is Tameo. I think I'm going to hold the therapies so I can use the spawn. There's the Ponder. Play pattern that comes up quite a lot is you therapy, you see their hand, and then you actually want to wait on the second therapy so that when you name the next thing that you know about, you are able to see more of their hand, rather than just using the therapies as soon as you can. So here I could check for force. I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to play this land for sure. I'm just going to play the Grist. I don't think I can play around force here. Okay, they did have a force. That is actually quite annoying. Yeah, that makes this line very bad now. But that makes them less able to use their mana. So let's Zenith. Then therapy. Yeah. I thought they would have more basics. Swords to Plowshares and a Teferi Time Raveler. Do I care about Teferi Time Raveler? I think I do. I'll ping this thing. Even though I'm probably going to Deathclaw it next turn. And I'll take out your Teferi. So what they will probably do now is minus the Tamiyo on swords, kill the Bowmaster, and then start drawing cards with this Tamiyo. But unless they draw another force, I have high hopes about this Deathclaw's ability to clinch this game. I drew a pending. Interesting. So hopefully... I think the best play for them here is to minus on force and play a land. But that is not what they want to do. They want a plus, don't they? They love to plus, these guys. Yeah, that's what I thought. One unknown in hand. I mean, we do have options here because we could just try and kill them with Bowmasters. Right? Like, that is an alternative. I just don't want to. I want to get my Deathclaw into play when I'm on 6 mana. Bait them with the first kill with the second. Yeah, I mean... maybe... I just feel like this is always going to be safer. And like it's possible that that line is safe enough that it's worth going for because it also wins the game. But I think this puts us in a very good position. Like, I now have a 6/6 in play that they need to remove. And my Bowmasters are coming. You can bounce it, I guess. I'd probably just replay it. Like, did you draw the force blue card? That would be pretty good. Deathclaw very bad versus Stifle and Daze. Right, but I'm only playing one. I would have replayed this and just killed the Tameo, but I drew a deed, so... I could just use that. I don't know, though. I guess you have a Caracas. In that scenario. Yeah, but this deck isn't playing Stifle or Daze. It's just like control. There's no way. I would have eaten my microphone if they dazed or stifled there. They're playing Prismatic Vista, 5 basics. This is a control deck. It's like a Wizards deck. I'd be more likely to see Basic Mountain off this than to see Stifle or Daze. What do I want to do here? Depends how big a problem this Tameo is. I guess it's not a problem that we're able to solve necessarily because of the Caracas, so... Did I... I wasn't playing last night, so... Someone else was ruining your day with Deathclaw. Who else plays blue-white? I don't know. Random people who like casting lots of cantrips in a game of Magic. Yeah. Let's get rid of him. And then we're just going to Origins here, I think. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Draw another Origins. That Origins just drew 2 cards. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, get 4/4. Yeah, sign me up. I mean, they've got a lot of cards in hand. They can draw more cards than Tameo. This game's not over. But we're reaching a stage of the game where I have a lot of tools. So. Yep, that's fine. Sure. Yeah, Origins, it was a card that I found in my usual manner, deep in a Scryfall binge. And I read it and I read it again and I was like, am I crazy? Like, is this good? No, like, I did a bunch of searches. I saw that nobody was playing in Modern. Like, it's only played in Standard. I was like, maybe this card is just bad, but like it doesn't read as bad to me. It just like it reads as really good. And I started playing with it and I was like, yep, this is exactly what I wanted. Because in the first couple of leagues I was getting killed a lot by like chip damage because you fetch and you use Peatland, and obviously like people hit you while you're holding up your deed and stuff. And I would end these games at like 3 life. And I was having all these awkward end games where I was like, I just need a couple more points of life. And I was like looking at Green Sun's bullets that could gain life. I was looking at Skyfish's Spider and all sorts of other stuff. And then I was like, but this actually just does all the things you want, and it just gains you a bunch of life during the game. Whoa! What are you doing? Why are you bouncing your own Tameo instead of flipping it? That's so next level. Oh, it's because you're going to play a board wipe. Very nice. Super verdict. Sure. Guilty. Yeah, sometimes it just randomly wins the game. It's a great card. This is an Ice Chill if I want it. Yes, please. I could take the opportunity to Deathclaw the Caracas here, but just going to get some card advantage with Ice Chill. So this one. Oh yeah, this one. I guess I'll leave the basics, sure. Do I want to draw that after Endurance? No. Yep. It's possible that for that reason you're supposed to hold up Quarry, but he'd done his job for sure. So add 2 mana with this. I'll cast this. Yeah, Endurance is good insurance against just milling yourself out. I have never in any of these games gotten close to milling myself out, but there's definitely potential for that. I guess especially in this kind of matchup, which I haven't really played that much. More worried about timing out than milling out, to be honest. Because I've been nattering away. Do I want to play this deed? Yeah, go on. Go on then. Saga Creature CMC is 2. Because it's a flipped copy of a 2 mana sorcery. Fine. You got me. I'll try and blow up your Tamio. You can brainstorm now if you want. Nah, you're done. Okay. Yeah, the clock is. I wasted too much time, but I'm pretty sure I can speed up. I actually don't think I'm going to board. I could see maybe something like this. The reason I think it would be tempting to have endurances in and deeds out, but what I have found against blue-white decks is they tend to bring in like Cage or Rest in Peace game 2. And Deed is quite good for cleaning those up alongside like a Tamio or a Clue or something. And Rest in Peace and Cage are big problems. And you don't want to be relying on just drawing Trophy. Yeah, without knowing my opponent's list, I don't really know exactly how many Deeds I want. Yeah, I'll just play 2 Endurance. You could probably play Choke if you wanted to. I think Choke's a bit washed in 2026, isn't it? Like, who cares about Choke, really? And yeah, I mean, these matchups I think are fine, not great, fine. Like your main deck does enough stuff, right? So I don't think you need loads of sideboard cards. We're not gonna let them plow the Explorer here. This hand's a bit weak. I'm glad they didn't start with Tamio again. We need to be ready to concede fairly early in this game. if we need to. That's a good draw. Do I want to fetch here? Yeah, I think so. I guess I could get back to basics. Surely you wouldn't keep him back to basics against the Nic Fit deck. I mean, people are nuts. You never know. Yeah, I'll grab this Grist. I was kind of hoping to hit a therapy off that, but Grist is also an outlet for Vedex if we want to use it. Grist is also just quite a tricky card for a blue-white deck to deal with because they haven't printed Erode yet. Once Erode comes out, whoa, blue-white deck's going to be so good in Legacy once Erode comes out. It's unbelievable. Do I want to therapy you? I kind of want to therapy you. What am I afraid of? What does Tundra Go mean? They surely can't have Felia in that deck. Surely they can't have Felia. I'm just going to name Force of Will. Brainstorm in response. Got it. I'm going to name Swords to Plowshares now. Because I think if you're going to brainstorm in response there, you need to be ready for me to play Bowmasters, which means you either have Force or Swords. Trying to keep Tamiyo unbanned by printing Erode? Yeah, maybe. Ah, they had Pending. Okay. And they had Force. They did have Force. I should have stuck to my guns. What do I want to do now? You're going to play a Jace the Mind Sculptor? I think I'm going to play Vetex and pass. If you want to Pending my Vetex, that means you can't Pending my Grist. And you can't play Jace next turn. This is nostalgic. Yeah, Jace versus Veteran Explorer, dual decks. Basically, Veteran Explorer is just not that valuable when I have enough mana already and my opponent has a bunch of basics in their deck, so I kind of want to see if I can bait out some premium removal with it. Otherwise, next turn, I'm probably going to sack it to Therapy, name Force of Will, and Grist to kill your Jace. That kind of thing. But yeah, unfortunately, because of the time I wasted in the first game, I'm going to have to concede as soon as this game starts going south. If it does. So we won't get to like see if we could come back from Jace being in play for 2 turns or whatever. Because we'll just have to go to game 3 for time reasons. They did not reveal the third color game 1. They kept the Prismatic Vista unfetched. But I would assume they have red, and I would assume they have a mountain. I would have assumed, even before seeing the Volk. Yep. Yeah, 4th Lingus is a little bit concerning. That may be another reason to keep in 2 to 3 deeds. If you have deed up, then 4th is a lot worse, right? They have to remove it before they 4th. Another Vetex. Interesting. How much mana can I make here? I can have 7 mana this turn. And just... Do I want to do that, though? I'm sure they'll have a basic mountain if they have Vista. Surely. Let's go to combat. Attack this Jace. And I am going to do this. I'm going to give them the mana. I think it's fine. So you have Force, you have Ponder, Swords, Supreme Verdict, Pending, Teferi. So if I... interesting. What happens if I Zenith for Ice Chill? Then you'll be able to Swords it. Yeah, Swords is really good, huh? The Grist will get pendinged. It may actually come down to whether they have a mountain. Because... you're going to Swords this in response? That would be so... sweet. No, you didn't do that. If they have a mountain, I cannot trophy them off red. If they don't have a mountain, I can trophy them off red and they can't answer this Grist. Which would be pretty funny, actually. What do we think, chat? I'm going to sack this now. You think it would be wild if they had a mountain? So they can't pending my Grist. I'm in danger. That's my opponent. No mountain in Verdict deck? Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. No, we knew their whole hand. We knew their whole hand. Oh, they drew the second Volk. Alright. Alright, the game continues. The game continues. You don't just get to make infinite one once. Yeah. You're gonna minus on my spawn so I can deny you the card. Yep. And Tamio, wow, that was quite the ponder. So hand is... so you're going to flip this as well. Wow, okay. Okay, well I was going to get an Ice Till with Zenith to draw a couple of cards off Peatland before they swords it. But I guess now... Maybe it would have been better to get Grist anyway, but I guess I'm going to get Grist now to kill Tamio. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. Well, must be down to 6. Need 4. No. Yeah, okay. I'll sack this. Once upon a time. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Wow. What does Quarry do? Not much. This Bowmasters is quite good. Deathclaw. I guess the best thing here is just Deathclaw, huh? And then Zenith for 3. To watch time. Man, there are quite a lot of decisions to make. It's quite difficult to make them quickly. Sack this. Kill this. There you go. If Deed killed Planeswalkers, Grist wouldn't be nearly as good in this deck. Yeah, my main issue now is time. Okay, cool. Your sword's kind of answered that anyway, so... I'm actually glad now, because it's in the graveyard, which means I can quarry it back at some point. Do I want a minus, I guess, is the question. Or do I just want a plus? I think I want to attack first. I think we're going to time out in this match, guys. I am not sure. Wow, we got a swords out of you. I guess I'm going to play this. And then, am I just hardcasting an endurance now? I guess I have to. Am I targeting anyone? No. Okay. I guess you can Supreme Verdict my endurance. Seems fine. Yeah. We got a Zenith. We're gonna do that first, I think. For Ice Still, Peatland, Supreme Verdict. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that was bad. For, I think, obvious reasons. Sure. I'm going to hold this second endurance. I was supposed to minus, I think... Oh, you're going to do that. Don't want to give you the card. Just trade Deed for a card. I'm going to trade Deed for a card. I just don't think the Deed is doing that much. I mean, I guess it's stopping me from dying to 4th Aerlingus, so maybe that was pretty bad, but I'm happy to cycle this, I think. Another Zenith. Interesting. And Origins. Let's plus. Let's Origins. I'm going to put both on top. Please. Play this. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm going to play an Endurance. This Ghost Quarter is on, so let's get rid of your red source. See if you're playing a plateau. Another Teferi. Bounce the Esper. Okay. I have 6 creature cards in my graveyard. I'll attack. I think both at Teferi. I'll attack you. Okay. Esper. Okay. Get rid of those. Flashback. Esper. Top. Get my quarry. I guess I'll name Supreme Verdict. I should have plus Grist before doing all of this. Force of Will in hand. I should have, but I didn't. That is fine. I'm going to do this. Get rid of the trophy that I shouldn't have kept. And Esper again. Graveyard top, I think. Because if we can just dump loads of stuff into our graveyard, we can just wombo combo them with Grist. Oh, they do have another red source. Oh, they found a pending. How nice. How many red sources do you have, brother? I'm just going to get rid of... I'm going to force that. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of this red source. I surely can't have another red source. And then... Do I have a Grist in here? No. This is fine. I'm going to Zenith for the second Ice Till. Is that still in my deck? Yes. Zenith for Ice Till. I could have Origins, I guess. Play Peatland. Play Peatland. Attack. I guess I have lethal next turn. If I need to, I can quarry my Endurance to shuffle. Humility, that's cool. That's very cool. That's why I wanted the other trophy in my hand. You're at 4. I did draw a Grist, which I'm pretty sure has abilities. Yes, it does. Cool. Yeah, I wasn't really threatened by my opponent's deck at any point, except the possibility of them top decking a 4th Aerlingus. during that game, assuming they run it. Was more threatened by my deck and time. It was very difficult to make decisions quickly, just because this deck's quite decision rich, I think. That was fun though. We got to do all the stuff. We got to do Ice Till stuff. We got to do Ghost Quarter stuff. We got to do Grist stuff. We got to do Esper stuff. We got to do Alpha Deathclaw stuff. We did all the things. So opponent was a good sport, good punching bag. And I'm glad that they were on a blue-white deck with 0 Stifle instead of a blue-white deck with 4 Stifle. That was much better for us. Okay, Universe is our second opponent. I will keep this, I think. I don't mind 2 lands, 2 Bowmasters on the play, usually. There is sort of a question of how am I going to get this Ice Till into play, but I can figure that one out. I need to recalibrate now not to just play fast and loose. That keep was a little fast, I think. Am I going to Surveil here? I think yes. I think there are several things I would like to draw. Are you're gonna stifle me? Stifle's so annoying. It's actually, I guess Stifle's even better, right, than it used to be because of this like Fetch, Surveil, End Step meta. People are much more likely to pass with fetch lands up than they used to be. Because then it's the upside on getting a Surveil is so much higher than like just playing around a Stifle that you don't even know if your opponent has in their deck or not, right, in game 1. Are you going to stifle the Surveil? If you're going to stifle the Surveil, you should probably have stifled the the fetch. I think this is a keep because it is a path to Explorer. It essentially answers the question, how am I going to get my Ice Till into play? I could Zenith here. In the blind, I'm not willing to do that. I want to know what's going on over there first. And I have these Bowmasters which will, you know, soak up interaction. Will be a low cost way to... Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm too spooked. It's too spooky for me. Alright, so you're on show and tell. Yeah, I mean, that's a little unfortunate. Okay. Hi, Adam. How's it going? You had an Omniscience, so probably Mega Dead. The only way we win here is if they were relying on cantrips. So if their hand is like 2 brainstorms. It wasn't. I played against Jeskai Control, good old Jeskai Control with Jace and Supreme Verdict. And we won 2-0. That's an Asarirak, which means we are dead. Okay, so I like Flute and I like Force of Vigor. I do not like Deed. I don't really like Endurance. Grist, we might want 1. Grist. Origins, I often shave on Origins post board, but I think our best interaction here is Therapy, and Origins does find Therapy. Really, it's a question of whether I want to shave an Ice Till, which I don't think I do. Or shave an Origins, or just take out 3rd Grist. I could bring in Oofs. They're not that hot, to be honest. They just stop Petal. Oh, I do want Trap, though. I do want Trap, because it's the Asarirak deck. Okay, so in that case... Yeah, in that case, we can do something like this. Just keep in 1 Ice Till, 1 Grist. Do I want the Wats? Are the Wats better than the Origins, is the other thing. I think the Wats are better because they find Deathclaw, which is a nice Rattlesnake against Show and Tell. I am down to 30 hits for Wat, but I think that's fine. Do I ever go down on Once Upon a Time in this scenario? That's what I'm considering right now, and I think it's certainly possible. This is my first time playing Once Upon a Time. Not period, but in this list. I actually wonder if Oof is better. I think... Okay, here's what I think. I think my non-creature spells are better than my creature spells here. And Origins finds my non-creature spells. So I'm going to take out Wats and play the Origins. That's my logic. Because Origins can draw Therapy off the top. Sort of. I do think this is a keep. It's a little tricky. It doesn't have any of the cards we sided in. On the play... Yeah, I don't like this matchup very much. So if I mull, what am I hoping to hit? If I mull, I'm hoping to hit Therapy, Flute. I don't even really necessarily want to hit Trap or Vigor that much on a mull. I probably should mull, huh? Like, this hand works pretty well if they have a weak hand and or we rumble into Therapy instantly. But it does just get clowned on pretty easily by a lot of stuff. Alright, let's look for some interaction. I will keep this hand. This hand's a lot better. Keep this hand bottom Origins. Or Zenith. What would I Zenith for here? I would Zenith for Grist. Yeah, okay, I'll bottom Zenith actually, because I just don't think I want a Zenith for anything. I just want to, like, make a 4/4 and try and kill them, probably. But yeah, I don't really like this kind of matchup for the deck. There are probably ways to fix it, like maybe running Thoughtseize on the sideboard or something. I don't really like Thoughtseize that much. That's a good draw though. It's a pretty good draw. Peatland. Swing. And then I think here I'm just gonna say go. I could Bowmaster. It's kind of interesting actually, because if I Bowmaster and Origins, I could hit Therapy, but then I don't have Force of Vigor up, but I do have it up next turn. And I give them mana. I don't want to give them mana. Yeah, definitely don't want to give them mana. Honestly, I may not even want to give them mana now. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna ping you. I don't want to give you mana. You're gonna play a tap land? Like I'm not. We're not doing that. No Origins. Another Force of Vigor and a Ghost Quarter. Yeah, no. No thanks. Beats. We didn't really draw what we needed in the opening turns here. We needed to get a Therapy in the top like 5-6 cards probably. So there's an Omni, there's an Atraxa. So what you do is you do this in response. Then they force, and you trap the force and the Atraxa. Ah, oh, come on. That would have been so good. That would have been so good. I mean, I'm not super surprised. Like I say, the best... I really wanted one more piece of interaction there. Like, I needed a Therapy at some point in that game. You know, I had 3 turns to find the Therapy with Origins and stuff. Didn't happen, but if I'd had a Therapy there, like, we have one more layer of protection, you can probably get him, you know? Would have been pretty cool. But yeah, it's not really the kind of matchup I'm gunning for here. I did lose to Sneak and Show in the tournament on Saturday as well, so... Alright, I'm gonna go and take the dog out. I'll be back for round 3. So I'll see you in just a minute. Hello. I have returned. Much like the Dragoon in StarCraft Brood War. We're getting ready for round number 3 here. We have played against Jeskai Control in round 1. And we've played against Omnitel, Allurintel, whatever you call it, Blue-Green Show and Tell in round 2. Show and Tell seems like a bad matchup. I don't know if I care to fix that at the moment. Show and Tell is very popular online. It's doing very, very well in the challenge meta right now. But I don't know what would help. Therapy seems very good. Maybe you need Thoughtseize in the sideboard. Maybe Veil of Summer, even. Maybe some kind of Rex Sage effect, although I don't think... Nothing leaps to mind as being eminently playable. You know, one of the things that gives energy in D&T... Excuse me. One of the things that gives energy in D&T... You know, serviceable show and tell matchups. Not great, but serviceable show and tell matchups is the existence of cards like Static Prism and Witch Enchanter, which are just reasonably likely to have in your hand and which you can use to punish an aggressive show and tell. It's hard to figure out what the equivalent for Nic Fit would be, other than jamming the deck full of Alpha Deathclaws, I suppose. Yeah, that was one thing that occurred to me when I cut the second Deathclaw at him, was that, you know, with 2 Deathclaws and 3 Watts, maybe that can be like part of a plan against show and tell. With 1 Deathclaw, it's not happening. So... But I do think it's difficult to run. I don't think it's too difficult to run the second Deathclaw. There's a possibility we could find space for the second Deathclaw. I had found it unnecessary in most matchups. There's definitely no real case for the third Deathclaw. That would be a lot of Deathclaws. Seems fine. I think the Ice still goes. Let's see what you've got. I wonder if I should go to 5, actually. I may not be mulling aggressively enough. You can make back all the card disadvantage, right? Later in the game if you get there. So it's really just about finding the therapies. Okay, that makes this hand good. More blue-white decks, huh? More blue-white decks. Alright. Can't we get like an energy or a blue-black or a Tronland deck or something? Do I think you're going to wasteland me? I guess I don't really care at this point. Some number of Defilers, yeah. I mean, there's definitely potential in this deck to splash. That is for certain. I like the 2-color mana base. I think you end up in a tricky position building the 3-color mana base and trying to get the basics in, that kind of thing. I just didn't want to put myself in that position. But there are rewards. There are certainly rewards for splashing. I'm just going to rumble here. Do I want a second deed? Or do I want a land? I think in this instance, I'm more likely to want a land. I think once you go into the third color, you're not really allowed to run the Ghost Quarter package anymore. And right now, for me, that's one of the main reasons to play this. Well, I'm glad I got my second black source. So. A Brainy Storm. So this looks more like what I was expecting round 1 to be. This looks more like the Felia Tempo blue-white deck. Because we've seen Wasteland. So we need to keep our wits about us because there could be some stifles on the cards. No other plays. I could play a Grist. If I play a Grist, it delays my Origins. I'm quite interested in getting to Origins next turn. Grist also can't deal with a Felia next turn anyway. I think I would rather just Zenith for Vetex this turn. And again, if they want to use the swords on that, I'm kind of okay with it. If they don't use the swords on that, it's good fodder for Grist, potentially. Now you're going to pending it, you're going to swords it now. You didn't want to fetch, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I'm like, with this many lands in my hand, I'm pretty happy. Just let them use premium removal on the region. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That is good. We're going to try the Grist now. While you're tapped off Stifle. There is an argument for playing Peatland there over Bayou because they know about the Peatland. And they might think it's my last black source, they might waste again aggressively. But maybe I don't want them to waste because I want to play Esper next turn. Alright. Another Brainy Storm. I like having as many answers to Murktide as this list has. Because one of the weaknesses I've had in previous Nic Fit lists is a severe vulnerability to Murktide, just because Deed doesn't clear it up. Like it does most other threats. Another Caracas gamer. Okay. So now I'm expecting a Felia to make an appearance. I'm probably going to have to trophy that. It's a little awkward because of the Caracas. But... Felia's quite good against the back half of Origins. I'm going to have to pass here, I think. So that I can either trophy or... Bowmasters the Felia. I think I'm going to untap and then... We'll see what they do. There's a possibility... You are going to Riddler. You are going to Riddler. Okay. We're going to Bowmaster. And I guess just hope it resolves. I don't know about this one. And hope they don't have swords. We did get rid of one of their swords. We do have another one. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to let them draw and we're going to let them attack. And we're going to try and trophy the Riddler in response because they can't Caracas the Riddler. And then we can just block. Get some planes. Do I want to... No, let's just do this. Oh, right, yeah, you can just do that. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think they could do that. It's okay, because we can... If they flash it in again, end step... maybe this wasn't the right way of doing it. I don't know. The land is good. That means I can just deed if I want to. I think this way around is... It does end up being best because it means that they can't just play another Riddler again at 5 mana. So that's... Deed. Let's grist. Oh, we hit an ice till. Got that nice double tick. He is gonna Thalia. Grab forest. So I'm wondering if I want to try and kill this thing while they're tapped off Caracas. I could, for example, use trophy on it, and then I keep my board. I could also kill the Caracas. I don't think I want to do that. I think what I'm going to do here is... What am I going to do here? I'm going to let them do this. Yeah, so you can flicker one of those. I'm actually going to chump. And then... I'm going to blow up the Caracas. Because then they have to... basically, this Grist is going to kill the Thalia on my turn. They had a daze? No, that's fine. That was probably going to get me at some point anyway. This Thalia is mega annoying, though. No one's arguing against that. I'm now going to try this. Get rid of this. Target this. You're going to crack us in response. You're just going to consign that? Yeah, that works too. Honestly, don't mind that. So... You are desperate to use the Thalia to kill my Grist, so I'm actually not going to Origins this turn. Do I want to Wat now? I want to Wat now. We found a Bowmasters and 2 therapies. Interesting. Oh no. I keep thinking Wat is Rumble. They don't go in my graveyard. That would be a little bit too good. Alright, go ahead. This Krakus is annoying. This Krakus is very annoying. I probably should have killed the Thalia when I had the chance. Looking for the therapies? Yeah. Attack this. Flicker this. Yeah, okay. So now would be a good time to have a therapy, maybe. Or Zenith instead. Okay, so I can Zenith for Ice Till. That would play into Daze. I could just Origins to try and hit a land. I'm gonna plus. Oh wow, I got a double tick again. I don't really want to Origins. Maybe I just pass. Is that crazy? How bad is it if I get dazed? It's not that bad. It's really not that bad if I get dazed here. We're gonna grab this GQ. We're gonna grab the swamp. So go. Do I want to attack? Yeah, I want to attack. Oh, he must have a second failure. That's annoying. Any reason to wait? Not really. I guess you could have Stifle. Okay. I guess I overexposed myself to Stifle there. That's fine. He's coming in. He's flickering the ice still. Yeah, I mean, if you want to swords one of these, you can absolutely be my guest. Yeah, that's what I thought you would have to do. Now I guess you can consign this. Yeah, they're getting good value. They're getting very good value on this this failure. Pretty funny, actually. Let's draw a card. Ooh, Alpha Deathclaw. That's cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's try this guy. They didn't have the days last turn, but they had it this time. Yeah, the failure Caracas thing has been really annoying this game. We're lucky they haven't drawn a real punish. Like, they haven't drawn a Riddler in these turns, but it's been pretty annoying. So you play that, you flick a 1. Yeah, so I have to keep all 3 back, basically. Yeah, because you could just block. This one failure is basically just ground me out. We can now at least Ghost Quarter the Caracas. Got rid of the third Stifle. Yeah, so they're going to do this and then Caracas. That's fine. Okay, so now I can therapy you. You have to flash in the failure if you want to save it from therapy. And then I'd be able to grist it. Ha, nice. Okay, so your last card is failure. You can't play it this turn. That's fine. Let's Origins. Haha, we hit therapy. Ha 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 ha. We hit another therapy off Origins. That's nice. Play this. Swing. I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm plussing. And then I'm going to therapy or failure. Okay, we got there. Watch some top deck Riddler now. Shuffle. Swords that, sure. Rumble. We don't need to rumble here. Play this. 7, yeah, okay. Milvetex. Play the Origins. Top. I mean, Riddler would be fine. We have an active Grist in play, but they're dead now because of the. Well, they're just dead on board. But all right, as usual, we use too much time. This matchup, I like Deed even more than I would against the Jeskai deck because it clears failure. They are usually on Rest in Peace, these lists as well. So I actually think I'm going to cut an Origins for an Endurance. And just try that. Just teeny tiny changes. Teeny weeny changes. Sound is good. Well, good enough, I guess. Leads on Tundra Ponder. To whom can I direct my complaints about lack of death clause? The Master? I don't know. It's whapped here. We didn't hit a land, which is a bit concerning. Do I even want a therapy here? I think I do have to therapy. They let it resolve instantly. It's either Rest in Peace or Felia for me here. They shuffled. I'm pretty dead to Felia. But I'm really dead to Rest in Peace. I just don't want to get Rest in Peace. Okay, they had 2 stifles. And a wasteland, unfortunately. The wasteland's going to get us pretty good because we missed on land with the Wat. Oh, you top decked Tamio? I guess I top decked a land. There you go. Go figure. Alright, well, we're going to have to fetch. I'm going to risk getting wasted again just because I think we need, I think we need the draw control. Now, they don't have another land, and they have a stifle. So, we're going to need to tread softly here. That's Origins. Yeah, I like these. Do I want both? I kind of want both. Yeah, I want both of these. Okay, they did draw a second land. That's good for them. Only having one colored mana is a little awkward here. Although, we could get Stifle out of your hand, couldn't we, if we wanted to? Yeah, so let's play this. My plan here is probably to sack this to Quarry in their end step to cast Once Upon a Time. Assuming they will stifle the trigger. It's pretty nice because it kind of stops them from cracking a clue here as well, because they don't want to go shields down. They did draw another land though, it looks like. You're going to pending now. You're going to pending now. Well, I mean, if you insist. If you insist on giving me a 2-for-1 and leaving both stifles in your hand for Cabal Therapy, then who am I to say no? You know? I don't want a second Quarry. I probably would have taken a colored land over Bowmasters there. Now I can just Bowmaster and take out both your stifles, which seems real good to me. Let's play around days, I guess. Yeah, I don't feel as though my opponent played this quite as well as they could have. So you have a Murktide. This Murktide could be an issue. It doesn't look like it though. It looks like the Grist will be able to tidy up the Murktide fairly nicely. Trophy. I think I'm happy to keep the trophy on top in case I want to draw it in 2 turns. Can sort of float the trophy. So Wrath of the Skies is not looking great with 4 clues in play. No plays. You're just holding up Priest. Just desperate to hold up Priest. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's... Origins. Yeah, that doesn't work. Oh no, it does work. Exile it, then put it on the battlefield. Oops. Okay, I forgot what this card said, and I just played into an onboard Priest. Okay, I should have played Grist that turn. That's fine. Do I still want these cards? I kind of do want these cards. Okay. Oops, that's fine. We all make mistakes. Now you just get to play a Murktide for free. Whatever. Yeah, I thought it like came into play transformed if you cast it from your graveyard. It's not what it does. Which makes sense. Because it's a sorcery. So that was a bit of a whoopsie. It could very well cost us the game here. What do I want to do now? Yeah, it would have been much nicer to have the Grist in play. I think we're going to get rid of this guy, even though it gives you a land. And then I'm going to attack. I wonder how many minutes I technically need to win a game of Magic. Because I may just need to concede this game, try and win game 3. But I feel like this game's going okay. I don't know. Do I want to draw the Zenith? I guess I just don't really want to draw the Zenith, huh? Another one? Okay, now I definitely don't want to draw the Zenith. Yeah, I like that a lot more. Now what? I have to be fast. I don't know if it's better to play Grist there. How do I end up so far behind on time? I don't usually have this problem in Magic online, generally, but... I guess it's all the thinking about therapy and that kind of thing. Yep. We take a little bit of damage here. The idea is we untap Grist, try and kill the Murktide, and then we can use D to blow everyone up. It's a pretty good draw. Let's try this. My god. We're on the clock here, guys. Can't be making these kind of mistakes. Kill this. Stifle. We're going to draw a card. Okay. You can try and draw a Stifle. Sure. To blow this up in upkeep to stop them from flipping Tameo. Well, with what they have in play. They could still draw a Brainstorm, obviously. Okay. I mean, they have 6 cards in hand. Wait, what? Did you draw the Brainstorm for turn? That's so unlucky. It's crazy. Could have flipped to Tameo. They either got really unlucky there or messed up really badly. I don't know. I don't know which one. I imagine they got unlucky. Sure. The Grist. We will Origin. No. We'll Catacombs first. Then Origins. Sure, let's top. And then just say go. I'm not going to play the Bowmasters into the Wrath. There's an Ice Till in here. Yeah. Well, no. Let's just... yeah, let's just Deathclaw. It plays really nicely on the Origins. Just like plays very smoothly. It's almost like it was tailor-made for the deck, you know? Still has 1 damage marked on it. Okay. So you can now, to avoid dying, you can Wrath. X equals 2, costs you 4 mana. You have 2 mana left over. You would need a Swords as well, probably. Now you're just gonna die if you don't kill the Deathclaw. So you need a swords as well. You need to cast it now, or I'm going to get to sack my Deathclaw to quarry in response. No? Okay. Yeah, I don't think that was a good idea. How much mana do I have? 6 mana? Sure. Just wondering whether to trophy now. Yeah, I think so. I don't want you to wasteland my quarry, because I'm probably going to use it to bring back oh, I guess I had a Ghost Quarter. I might need the mana though. I want to use it to bring back a... We got a Therapy if we want it. What would I Therapy here? Just Quantum Riddler probably. Sure, I'll do it. Because now I can quarry back Deathclaw instead of Ice Tilt, which is what I was planning to quarry back. You have a Ponder, that's fine. Alright, Sega. Drew Caracas. Oh, you have Quantum Riddler in exile. Of course you do. Why didn't I know that? Because I'm playing too fast, that's why. Well, I'm not playing fast enough, but you get the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. That means if I draw a land, I can quarry back Deathclaw. If I don't, I can quarry back something else. Or I could just play 2 Grists, which is probably what I'm going to do. No, I'll quarry back the Deathclaw. I ain't no quarry back, girl. It's a little song. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. It's somewhat more sustainable to quarry back Ice Tilt because it means you can keep replaying quarry, but I'm going to have to try and win this game because I have 2.5 minutes, so they might get away with something here, you know. Yeah, I mean, they drew a Riddler. I'm going to draw another 2 cards. They might win this game, and we're not going to win the match, that's for sure. Yeah, the top deck Riddler there is very good. Let's see Paul Allen's top deck. Oh, that's not bad. Force? No, okay. Kill this. Say go. Another one. Yeah. Pretty good. Again, I don't think I'm targeting anyone. Well, maybe I'm targeting you because you have Murktide in your deck. Maybe I should have played it first, actually. I guess they could mill out. Seems very unlikely. Rather keep them off Murktide. I don't know. That's a good draw. Zenith. Yeah, I guess I'm just saying go. Yeah, this one got away from us a little bit. I could have maybe made more sustainable decisions if I wasn't worried about my clock. I don't know. We don't get to concede now, unfortunately, because we can't win in 2 minutes, I don't think. So, have to try and ride this one out. I did just put all of their swords and stuff back in their deck, didn't I? That might have been a little silly. So, you attack the grist. I'm going to have to say okay on that. And then probably a board wipe. Depending on the token. Yeah, I'll hold up this Bowmaster. I think that's fine. Therapy you. Yeah, I thought you might do that. I'm going to name Force here, I think. Brainstorm Days. Okay. One minute 47. Uh-huh. No plays. Play the Vedex. Say go. They're probably just going to try and stall me out. Could work pretty well. There's another failure. That's annoying. Tamio. Yeah, they're drawing well, man. They're drawing well. What have we got? We have another endurance. That's not bad. That is not bad here. To be fair. Yeah, goes for Flooded Strand. So, if I play both here, I'll start with this one. If I play both, you have 3 blockers. You block 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it doesn't quite work, does it? Zenith. 4. I think Grist. I don't know what's in my deck. I don't have time to check. I don't know if I have another Grist. Brainstorm in response. Yeah, that's going to have to resolve. Because I know you have days. There's a therapy in my graveyard. I don't even know there's a therapy in my graveyard. Yeah, okay. So I could have won this game, I think, by therapying you first. So that's kind of annoying. I do have a Grist, so that is nice. Sack this. Kill your Quantum Riddler. Consigns that. Replicate on the consign. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say go. I've messed this up. There was definitely a way to win here if I thought about it. Purge on that is fine. Fetches. I wonder if he's fetching away the days or not. Card in hand. Plus, yeah, that's going to make it hard to win. It's going to make it very hard to win. Peatland. Yeah, a bit of a spew this round, unfortunately. Bit of a spew. Yeah, if we had more time, we would just have so many more options. But we don't. So we don't. Attack you. I mean, we are like literally out of time now. Yeah. We're literally out of time. Oh. That's annoying. Yeah, okay. Just got to play faster. I think we have that match. We may not have that game, but we have that match, I think, if we play faster. It's just so hard to like think about all the cyphers and all the rest of it. So, good lesson. If I saw the Cabal in graveyard, yeah, I probably should have my graveyard out. Yeah, because all I need to do is therapy before Zenith. And then if they brainstorm response, I kill them. If they don't, I can take the brainstorm, etc. Yeah. That's okay. That's what the practice is for. That's why we're practicing. No, I'm coming around to it being an okay matchup, but I do think you have to play very carefully. Because you can just get clowned by a failure. Like if you take the wrong line and you like give them 2 basics and then they flash in a failure, like you can just get absolutely clowned. So you have to be careful, I think. But I think if you're careful, it works fine. This hand seems good. I think I'm actually bottoming Grist here. I'm not sure. Kind of depends on the matchup. But it's a little bit expensive mana-wise, I think. Yeah, I think I'm bottoming Grist. Yeah, so far the main issue today has just been falling behind on clock. I am a little tired, I guess. The midweek slump, so that's part of it. And yeah, I don't have nearly as many reps on this kind of deck as I do a D&T deck or an energy deck, so having to figure things out as I go. But that's why the practice is useful. This opponent's doing us a favor by giving us a minute head start handicap. You can wait here for Explorer if you want to, but I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think you necessarily... Oh, wow! I don't think you necessarily want to just randomly grab Explorer and play it. Although, I probably would play Explorer into burn. Guess they're just on tap, huh? Okay, nice. I would like a basic. Second Explorer seems unnecessary here, I think. I do like the idea of some basics. So... I want to play this Explorer. Yeah, I do. I've never played, to my knowledge, I've never played the Burn versus Nic Fit matchup. So I'm interested to see what it's like. It's like a land grant prowess deck or something? Ah, slick shot show off, cool. Well, I can't block that with a Veteran Explorer. This is Bauble. I might be able to snipe it with an Orcish Bowmasters though. Esper Origin's going to carry. Well, I don't know if it's enough life gain. That's the problem. It's not a big chunk of life gain, you see. Yeah, there's my Bowmaster. Land Grant? Yeah! This is cool. This is what you find in the 1-2 bracket. We might just die, huh? Can we just die? I don't think so. Not this turn. Yeah, you're not gonna kill my... You're not gonna kill my Explorer. That makes sense. So, nice thing about the Bauble is it means we do get to kill this show off now. I actually don't know if they'll be on Price of Progress. Oh. They did reveal their hand. Wow, Cabal Therapy's sick against Land Grant. I've actually never played against Land Grant. They might not... They're probably not on Price of Progress, right? Because it's prowess, but I'm not going to risk it. It's so bad. I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad, right? Once upon a time. I will play this. Just say go. Imagine your land rock can get dazed. You're gonna bolt something? Oh, you have lava dart. Sick. You did it. Then you're gonna reflex this. Okay. Where's this going? Where's this one going then, fella? Oh. Veteran Explorer alert. Must be late for you, Callum. What is it, like midnight over there? On a school night? Staying up late watching Twitch? Naughty, naughty. You as well, Pip? Bunch of degenerates. Okay, so that's gonna die, and then I'm gonna play another one. To chump, I think. My boring streams is counting sheep. Well, when you wake up in the morning, everything will be exactly the same. I was gonna say we will have won the challenge, but we're 1-2, so seems unlikely. Okay, we have a quarry. Quarry's pretty good here. It's a bit of beef for the boys. I think I'm gonna lead on Rumble though, because this is a bit of beef for the boys too. Yeah, I guess I'll just wait. I mean, feels like I've probably got the long game. They're coming in. They are coming in. I'll play this. Do I endurance you? Sure, I'll endurance you. Maybe they have like Bedlam Reveler or something. So what happens if I just block here? Like what happens over there? You bolt, and then you reflexes. I mean, I could have double blocked, I guess. Maybe I should have double blocked. I guess it turns out the same way. But you've used all of the cards in your hand. You have one card in hand. I mean, so do I, but seems better for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Could have waited. Yeah, I would have lost my token though. Probably shouldn't keep using this peatland. Oh right, they double bolted. Yeah, I'm tired, man. They double bolted. They have reflexes in hand still. I guess with that in mind, yeah, okay. Another Swifty Spear. No place. See, this is kind of what I envisioned. Why I envisioned Once Upon a Time being okay, because you're just very happy to cast it, right? Do I want Grist? I kind of don't want Grist. Going down to 9, maybe a little bit reckless. I want to swing with the 4/4 here. I think no, not yet, but probably next turn. Maybe the right play there is swing with the 4/4, not with the 1/1. I don't know. Then you can just like chump, race, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what my opponent is doing. It doesn't seem to be anything particularly good. Yeah. Feels like Punisher Steed is gonna absolutely rock their world at some point in this match. Okay, so you get to kill my Explorer now, which is pretty cool for you, I guess. So that's nice. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to do this now, but why not? So we have some amount of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they're okay. Land grant. The quick reflexes, I think, are a bit of a punish for Grist. I think maybe I'm interested in a couple of endurances instead. Masters, they're playing baubles, and it makes 2 blockers. Yeah, 3 endurance is probably fine. Don't need a 4th one. I think this is a mull. Bit dirtly. I mean, I can whap for a black source, play trophy. Yeah, I kind of want an actual veteran explorer in my opening hand. This is also a bit rubbish. Yeah, I think I can do better on 5 because it's very easy to get card advantage off them. I think I'm gonna get rid of that endurance. Try this. Like, it's not like their deck wants to trade, really. Hopefully they land grant here, and then I can just therapy them into the dirt. I can just... with the therapy. Alright, there's a Swifty Spear. There's a Michael Bublé. Another Michael Bublé. Land grind into therapy. You never know. I assume their deck is constructed in such a way that they sometimes have to keep a hand that has no lands and a land grant, right? That seems like how you would build the deck and play the deck. So I don't think they necessarily have a choice. That's what I'm saying. What did I reveal? Bayou. And a forest, okay. I mean, I am going to therapy you. I don't know what I'm going to name. I think it's maybe Slick Shot. Maybe, I guess I have Trophy. I'm going to name Quick Reflexes because it's going to be annoying if I'm counting on using this Trophy. Alright, I had Bolt. That's fine. Being on the draw, definitely a little spooky against this deck. Just gonna Bolt now. Wow. Alright. Well, I'm just going to say go. Because I can choose which one of these I want to play. Okay. Swift Spear, Land Grant. Sure. No plays. Go. I mean, this probably means you have a spell. I think I'm gonna do this. I know I can double block and then I can trade through a... Oh, okay. What? You knew about that Bowmaster. Why did you do that? Okay, never mind. I was gonna explain my reasoning there, but... Who cares, I guess. What do you have in hand, then? What could you possibly have in hand? Just, like, the only thing you could have in hand is lands, surely. Plotted show-off. Yeah, I mean, that's spooky. That is spooky. I should have cycled this, but that's fine. I'm gonna therapy you now. And I'm gonna name... I don't even know, man. Guess it doesn't matter too much. Whatever. Yep. Cycle this. Deed, okay. Well, I'll play that. I don't know if they have an actual draw that kills me here. I'm gonna keep this back, actually. Like even Team of Battle Rage is like 8 damage, right? 6 damage. They played this into the Deeds, so maybe they have something. Nope, they're just hitting me for 1. Okay. Cool. I am going to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. I think I'm actually good to take the 1 here. In fact, I could maybe keep taking the 1. Is that crazy? I need to hold up 2 mana each turn? I can do that, actually. Yeah, I can do that. Problem is I can't play out my own... I'm not drawing anything that's going to let me play through it. So maybe that's actually wrong. Yeah, I probably do need to crack this. Maybe I should have cracked it last turn. I don't know. Because now I'm going to be at 6 instead of 8, which is obviously very relevant against the Bolt deck, so... Yeah, I think this is a mistake. I'm going to double down, and I am going to go to... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to 6. I think that's foolish. I think that is foolish. Five card types, huh? Okay, well... Where are the endurances? That's my question to you. Esper? No. But if I surveil that, I can grist it. Quarry it. Because it's a creature in the graveyard. Sack this, kill your guy. And I guess not attack, because haste is a thing. Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's not mess about, lads. Let's not mess about. Deathclaw. Oh, he floated the man in response. What a clever little boy. Such a smart play. It's all about those small edges. Yeah, there's a Swifty Spear. This is actually unnecessary because I probably could have just monstrous the Deathclaw instead. But whatever. Yeah, you got to look for that incremental advantage. Rah! Rah! Did you magically draw an answer to Alpha Deathclaw in your green-red deck? Or did you draw an answer to me, the player? I guess that's more likely here, huh? They could have Bolt, Bolt, Lava Dart. Yeah, nice. I guess I should have therapied them. Yeah, I should have therapied them to name Bolt. That's fine. I'm going to get rid of an Ice Till and put the 4th Endurance in because I've seen they're on Darcy now. Alright, we could have played that a little tighter. That's fine. Yes. Wow. Sick. That makes his hand so bad. But that's okay. Maybe I should wait for the land grant. But instead, we could just blind hit. We might lose now. Oh, man. That's okay. We haven't played very well this evening. We don't deserve to win. That's a good draw. I want to look for something. Rumble would find deed. Yeah. We'll keep these because the Bayou lets me find play endurance, and the Rumble finds deed, which we're going to need against these cutters. Show off, and then you can cut it into show off. That's nice. Okay. Yep. Cool deck, huh? Cool deck. Land grant again. Very nice. Very nice. That actually kind of scuppers us, huh? The land. Because now you have Bolt. That's okay. My endurance will still trade. With the opponent. Let's do that. I'm gonna dart me. I'm 16. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find deed like right now, I think. Or I just don't see. I don't think Grist is getting me out of this. Oh, that's a really good rumble if they didn't have Leyline in play. The Bowmaster might help. Cutter. Bauble. Okay. This is very tricky. Basically, yeah, man, the bauble completely ruins me. I guess I'll force you to use the bolt now. Like, it doesn't end well for me if I try and do anything else. I don't think I can really wait. Yeah, man. I can't believe we misplayed game 2 so badly. I mean, I can believe it. I can definitely believe it. And you're going to lava dart as well. Am I dead? I might be dead. 7. Yeah, exact lethal. Okay. Fair enough. Alright. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good there, I think. Honestly, deck is still performing very well. We just didn't play that well. There's a few... I need to get more reps with it so I can play faster. That kind of thing. But still very happy with how it's performing in a wide variety of matchups. I am going to drop now. I'm not really... haven't really got my head in the game. But that was good fun. So, and I think it was good practice. And I'm reasonably happy to say that the 3 Once Upon a Time belong. I do think it's possible that we should be on a second Deathclaw still. Perhaps over an Origins, or perhaps over a Grist. But I'm not going to make that change yet. That would only really slightly mollify the show and tell matchup. And that's not what I'm targeting. And Origins, I think, is smoother for the deck overall. So I think I'm pretty happy to leave the list as is. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Slightly shorter stream tonight. It's all good. That means I can have some dinner and not be up late like those naughty little Englishmen that were in the stream earlier. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I do think the Nic Fit's pretty good. I do think it's a meta call. Yeah, there's certain matchups that you want, certain matchups that you don't want. And I think if you're going to play Nic Fit, you should be playing Ice Till. Ice Till just seems incredibly good as a sort of thing to ramp into, etc. All right, I'm going to call it there. See ya.